Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. I'm back again. I thought I was done for the day. I'm trying to rest my throat because my voice has been bad. But yeah, they drop more stuff. What we got here? Update 3.3 coming soon. It's going to be coming for Valentine's Day, so we're talking less than like 10 days away. Another game update is almost ready to go live, and we're going to tell you all about it, including a new fusion. Guys, I've got a guide on preparing for fusions. I will make sure that I link it below. Check it out if you don't know what to do yet. So some minor quality of life improvements and a fitting room. The latter will allow you to see various artifacts. I can show you a quick visual on the fitting room actually, just so you can kind of get a feel for what they're trying to do with it. I mean, to be honest, if anyone has already used my optimizer, the optimizer really does this and more. But if you don't, lots of people can't use it and don't want to use it, so that's cool. But basically what you have is your normal view of artifacts. You have these fancy looking hangers in the fitting room, and basically what you can do is you can pre-equip a load of gear without spending any silver yet, move stuff around until you finally get the build you want, and then the big fat silver bill will hit you after. So it's not taking any silver cost away, anything like that. It's just allowing you playing around, I guess. But we don't know much info on it yet. We don't know if you're going to be able to perhaps pre-build 3 or 4 champions before doing the silver cost. I doubt it. I think it's going to be 1. And it could end up being that, I don't know, it could end up being that it's a pretty pricey move. Anyway, I don't know. Most games have got this. It's generally better to have this because often when I'm doing builds, I'll be moving bits around until I get to the build I want. But yeah, it feels like unless they put better filtering in this system, it's still halfway where it should be, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, but still, it's a move forward. So the fitting room will allow you to, equip different artifacts, but you'll still get the same silver cost. There's nothing that I can see here. Let me just scan through again. Pretty sure there's nothing around changing the cost or having like a free day, which is really what we were hoping to see. Just tells you how to access it. You still have to access all the relevant filters, but no new ones by the looks of this. This tab will allow you to see your selected champions. Yeah. So it doesn't feel like there's anything new to it other than you get to play around before you spend, which is good. It's a good thing. It's still 50% there for me. So then what's the fusion going to be? The Valentine's fusion, which is going to drop in a few days' time. Astralon, legendary champion, magic champion from the Sacred Order. Attack-based champion, what we got? Attacks 2 times on an A1, 30% chance of putting decreased defense out for 2 turns. Okay, that's not bad. Countess Licks, looks like another legendary here, will team up with the attack if they're on the same team and use a default skill. So I guess we're going to have like another lovers duo coming in, which is cool. They should do that for Valentine's. I like it. Countess Licks will not team up on this attack if this skill is used as a counter attack. Okay. So you can get your debuff chance improved to 50. I'm hoping that's each hit's got a 50% chance to place decreased defense, or it's a very weak A1. Obviously, with Countess, it could be really strong, but that's a pretty, that's not going to happen for most people. Most people are not going to have this other legendary champion. So 50% feels like a bit weak, really. A2 then attacks one enemy, will ignore defense. Will ignore increased defense, strengthen, and ally protection. Revives a random ally with 40% HP and places a shield on them to 20% of their max HP if you kill someone. Also places a shield on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns if you kill someone. I really like that. Really like that. It's a bit like the Ultan A2. When you kill someone, you get a revive of your team, you shield your team, but his is also ignoring defense, strength, and ally protection. It sounds very good. I don't know any multiplier detail yet, so I can't tell you if it's going to be a hard hitter, but that sounds cool. And then we've got an A3, removes all buffs from target under Veil, or Perfect Veil, then places Weaken on enemies who have Veil removed, then attacks all enemies. Also has got a chance of placing the stun, which can go up to 100%. Wow. There is a lot going on there. There is a lot going on there. That move sounds cool. Removes Veils and Perfect Veils. Pretty situational, but in the arena meta now, it's pretty common. Then attacks everyone. Also, chance to stun everyone 100% if you book him. 13 books. It's a lot still. It's not crazy. It's a lot. Fills his champion's turn meter by 3%. It's not a lot. Every time this ally is hit. Decreases incoming damage by 25% if the attacker's attack is lower than this champion's, which I guess it will be. That's nice. That's a nice passive. I'd say he sounds like, I don't know multipliers and stuff like that, but he sounds on paper to actually be cool. I like him. I like the combo of stuff here. So let's have a look at these other champions then. Nodgar the Headhunter. Pretty much, I mean, we've got legendaries as well, but pretty much there's a stack of new epics and rares here. I'm almost certain they're going to be the champions that fuse into Astralon, or the majority will be. So it feels like it's going to be an old style fusion. So loads of pots needed, all that type of stuff. And feels like it's going to be mainly based on new champions again. Which sucks, by the way. So Nodgar the Headhunter. Spirit Affinity Orc. Cool. Attack based again. Attacks one enemy. Heals his champion by 10% of their max HP. Grants an extra turn if he kills someone. I mean, that's a cool A1. It's a cool one. 40% damage increase from books. That's actually massive. That's a massive boost right here. Dwarf Feast attacks all enemies. After attacking, this champion sacrifices 50% of their HP. Then places 2 heals on themselves. The HP sacrifice will happen even if it kills them. It's pretty scary. It's a bit like Smash Lord's I think it's A2 as well. Okay. A lot of this stuff is talking about HP, but they're saying it's an attack-based champion. Maybe that's an error. Maybe it's actually an HP-based champion. We'll see. And then we've got Last Right. Sacrifices HP equal to 50% of his HP again. Then equalizes HP levels with the target enemy. The HP levels of both this champion and the target enemy will be brought down to the level of the one with the lowest. It's interesting. It's an interesting move. Again, pretty situational. I'm not sure that I like it. 7-turn cooldown, books down to 5. It's an interesting one. But I don't feel like I'm liking it. I don't know. Comment below. You think that sounds cool? I don't know if that sounds. Obviously, it sounds cool if you're low health and you're attacking someone that's full health. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. And then we've got to revive this champion with 50% HP and 50% turn meter when killed if all other allies are alive. That's quite cool as well. So instant revive. Okay. And it got an attack aura in all battles. He feels like he's kind of mid-tier. Unless he's got some crazy multipliers going on there. It feels like he should be HP based as well. But there we go. Right. Samar Gemcursed. A Spirit Affinity Dwarf. Good job. We got a new dwarf. I mean, I don't know what he actually looks like, but this little portrait looks really cool. So this is a good introduction to him. So what we got here? HP based. Nice. They do lack it. Crystal Flesh. So this is like a crystal kind of wrapping around him. That's nice. Heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if this champion's got less than half health. Fills this champion's turn meter by 15% if they got more than half health. With just damage boosters here. Looks like it's going to be a damage dealer. A2 attacks one enemy. Inflicts bonus damage equal to the difference in HP levels between this champion and the target. 1% damage for every 1% difference. Inflicts bonus damage equal to the difference in number of... It's very... I feel like every champion they bring out nowadays is more and more complex in terms of like the precursor to whether they do damage or not. Inflicts bonus damage equal to the difference in number of buffs on this champion and the target. Plus 10% damage per buff. And I'm assuming that goes both ways, up and down for both. It doesn't say for sure, but 1% damage for every 1% difference. So if I'm low health and they're high health, I'm hitting harder. But if I'm high health and they're low health, am I hitting harder again? Sounds like I should be. And it's similar with this. If I've got 10 buffs and they've got none, am I doing 100% more damage? Sounds like it should do. In which case, it could be crazy strong, this ability, for a single target. Boon Subversion. Attacks all enemies. 100% if you book him. Chance of stealing 2 buffs before attacking. That's cool. Places an extra hit on enemies that have any buffs left. So you could do double hits. That's nice as well. I mean, again, we've got a lot of books here. Lots of legendary books coming out again. Passive here, Diamond Skin. Places block damage on this champion for 1 turn at the start of each round. I guess be aware that the start of a round for like clan boss is literally the first go. It's not every time the clan boss has a turn. But that's a cool passive as well, actually. Blocks incoming damage and places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn when they would receive a hit that would drop their HP below 30%. That's cool as well. He actually sounds really cool. He sounds like he could do a lot of damage. He sounds like he's got a very interesting kit. Stealing buffs, crazy hitting A2, turn me to feel A1, as well as more damage A1. I like it. I think his kit sounds cool. Samar, sounds like it should be a good one. Cardiel, Void Legendary, new Void Legendary. Right, what we got here? Support Champion, Sacred Order. Cal the Wicked. Attacks 1 enemy, heals all allies by 7.1% of their HP. Feels okay. Places a True Fear debuff for 1 turn if the target is a champion from Demon Spawn, Undead, or Night Revenants. Come on, that's just a bit too ridiculous, isn't it? Is that getting too ridiculous now, guys? I feel like that's a bit ridiculous. A2 removes all debuffs from all allies. That's a cool move. Then puts block, debuffs, revive on death for all allies. The revive on death cannot be removed. That's actually nice. That's pretty nice. A3, Heavenly Host. Places increased crit damage, then teams up with allies to attack a target enemy. Decreases the cooldown of this skill by 1 turn if an enemy's killed. 4-turn cooldown. I mean, an ally attack is always a good move. When you get increased crit rate and crit damage as well, it's awesome. 4-turn cooldown if you just book it normally. That feels like it could be a nice move. The revive on death thing as well could be a cheeky, different kind of clan boss function technique. So that sounds cool as well. Speed in all battles aura is nice. A passive here as well. Allies receive 20% less damage from champions from these factions. Whenever an ally attacks, 15% chance to team up with them and join the attack. Goes up to 30%. Wow. So that means you'll be getting this A1 away 30% of the time. That's huge, actually. This champion will attack with their default skill. Always joins Sakia Flame Tongues attacked if they're on the same team. Can only join an ally attack once per turn. Okay. Okay, so it's not as crazy as I thought. Cardiel will not team up with on ally attacks when they counter-attack. Yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, I don't love this kind of Demon Spawn, Undead, or Night Revenant thing. I don't love it, personally. Maybe you guys do. Again, comment below what do you think. But the rest of his kit sounds really cool. Okay, let's see what's next then. So Countess Lix, which is the one that pairs up with our new fusion, Astrolon. What we got here? Countess Lix. Demon Spawn. Okay, at least she's not in Undead. So Festering Caress, A1. So we've got here a magic-based attack, Demon Spawn. Festering Caress. Attack someone 2 times. 30% chance of placing Weaken for 2 turns. She kind of feels already to me like Crutraxa without even seeing her. I don't know why. So this becomes, what, 50% chance of placing Weaken. It's a double hitter. Again, does this a bit like Astrolon here, 2 times 50%. Is it each hit or is it in total 50%? It looks like it's in total 50%. which means these two could be your decreased defense and weakened champions, but they're not 100% chance to do it. A2 attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit, 100% chance of placing decreased speed. Each hit. You don't really need to enhance that. It's sort of like each hit has got that chance of placing decreased speed. The chance of you not placing it is insanely low. If you get it booked out as well, 100% chance 3 times. Weird. Each hit also, 75% chance. Oh, okay, I get it now. 75% chance of decreasing turn meter by 10%. So you're going to get a 30% turn meter decrease in total, which is strong. It's strong, but not crazy. It probably sounds crazy, but when you're on a 4-turn cooldown booked, that's not insane. We've then got an A3, AoE, 100% chance again if you book of placing block cooldown skills for 2 turns. That's massive. Block cooldown skills is a crazy strong buff or debuff. Also decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion's by 1 turn, 5-turn cooldown. So it's a bit like what Painkeeper or your Renegade are doing, but it's only reducing by 1 turn. Great A3. If it hits as well, that A3 is crazy good. Really good. We've then got passive. Removes 1 random debuff from Astralon and this champion at the start of each turn. Only available if Astralon's around. Okay. And then another one. Fills this champion's turn meter by 5% each time an ally receives a debuff. Interesting champion. Lots going on. Decreased speed, block cooldown skills, weaken. All on the same kit. 2 AoEs. If she hits as well, she's going to be pretty damn awesome. Interested in that one. Sounds pretty good. Okay then, so Sakia Flame Tongue. Force Affinity, another Demon Spawn, attack based. What we got here then? Triple hits. So Sakia was pairing up with Cardiel. Attacks 3 times. Each hit's got a chance of putting an HP burn out. What's this? Each hit, 15% chance of increasing the duration of HP burn. 30% chance. So you're kind of trying to guarantee nearly a... It's like probably about a 1 in 2 chance that that's actually going to land and increase HP burn. We've got an AoE A2. 80% chance again. Books to 100 of placing Weaken for 2 turns. 100% chance of placing Decreased Defense for 2 turns if there's at least 2 enemies under HP burn. So obviously it doesn't work on Clan Boss. It will work just about anywhere else that you're fighting. Then instantly activates any HP burn debuffs on each target and decreases the duration of those HP burn debuffs by 1 turn. Instantly activates HP burn debuffs on each target. So makes them go off. I get what you're saying then. Okay. Wow. Is anyone else thinking that's crazy? Absolutely crazy. Imagine the sheer amount of damage. If you've got an AoE HP burn out there, which we're about to get, she is going to activate all of those HP burns just to hit straight away. The amount of damage that's going to do on Spider in one move is literally disgusting. Like, insane. Insane. I love it. I love it. Okay. So what else we got then? Places HP burn on this champion for 3 turns, then attacks all enemies. Has a 75, again, books to 100 chance of placing HP burn on all enemies for 3 turns. Grants an extra turn if it's placed. Wow. If an HP burn is placed on all enemies. So she's... Here's the hiccup, I guess. She's the negative affinity for Spider 20. So the chances of you placing HP burn on everyone on Spider 20 is almost 0. It's basically 0. So she's not going to get the extra turn on Spider 20, but she would on Spider 19. But against someone like Sorath in Doom Tower, this is a really good champion. I actually really like this kit. Really interesting. Increases this champion's speed by 3. This is a passive. And damage by 3% for each ally and enemy under HP burn. If Cardial's on the same team, all allies will heal for 3% of their max HP from HP burns instead of receiving damage. This is a crazy, weird champion, but I love it. I love this. You get an extra 15% chance. I'm not really sure what this debuff chance is meant to signify here. I'm guessing this is a bit of a typo and it's meant to change the 3% to something else. So I can't see you've got an extra chance. This is just saying it's happening. Increases by speed. Damage inflicted increases. If Cardial's here, will heal. Doesn't feel like there's any chance. So it feels like this is probably meant to say something else. It'll probably be something like enhances the 3% to higher numbers. Damn, this feels cool actually. This feels like a really fun champ. Really fun champ. Yeah, probably my favourite so far. So let's go on to the epics then. So this is probably going to be the start of a lot of the grind for the fusion, I guess. So first one up, Runekeeper Dazdirk. Epic Void Champion, a dwarf. A1 with Leech, which is nice. 35 goes up to 45% chance. A2 places increased attack on all allies, then fills turn meter. Very similar to Seeker ability. That's cool as well. And then A3, a basic ability. So let's go with the Ascended one. So everyone's going to ascend. Removes all debuffs from all allies. Then heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP. Places continuous heal for 2 turns on allies that have a debuff removed. Massive cooldown on it, like 6-turn cooldown. Feels like the cooldown's pretty high for what it is. I mean, it sounds like a pretty decent support champion. 3-turn cooldown on the increased speed and increased attack. Decent, but not crazy, I would say. Deacon Armstrong. This guy has been in the game code for a long time. So, what we got here? Mace of Contempt. A1. Got double hitter. Each hit, 30% chance of placing Leech. 40, 50% chance. That's really strong. A2. AoE. 100% chance of placing decreased defense for 2 turns. Nice. If it hits as well, even better. But support champion, so probably won't really. Time compression on the A3. So Ascended fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%, decreases enemies by 15%, and gets an extra turn. Speed buff in all battles as well. Feels kind of like an arena champion here. Boost your turn meter, decrease their turn meter, then also go again and drop defense. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you've kind of got someone here that can go first, go fastest, and do 2 jobs for your team. Actually very cool. Cardron the Crowned. This guy used to be called the Crowned Druid, because again, he's been in the game code forever, for a long time anyway. A lot of these guys were part of what was going to be Battle Pass 2. So, attacks one enemy, 30% chance of increasing the duration of a random buff on a random ally. I don't love the word random written twice on the same sentence. Not when you're trying to do stuff in the game. Goes up to 50. I don't like it. Heals all allies by 15% of their max HP and places a shield on them equal to 15% of their max HP for 2 turns. Average A2, I would say. And then we've got places Perfect Veil and increased attack on all allies whose attack is higher than their defense. And then increased defense and block debuffs if they've got higher defense. So you're choosing how that's going to work, which is cool. Both ways increase your damage, increase attack or increase defense. Both of them increase your damage if they're attack or defense-based champs. Perfect Veil hides your damage dealers. Block debuffs protects your tanks. That's a really sweet A3. I really like it. For a support-based champion, I really like that. I don't really love the rest of his kit that much, though. Pestilence Knight Rev, support, spirit champion, double hitter, double random hitter. Each one's got a 50% chance of placing Leech. That's cool. What else we got here? Attacks one enemy on his A2. 50% chance of placing HP burn. Goes up to 75. Heals all allies by 15% if the HP burn places. Heals turn meter if it doesn't. Bit too random and a bit too average for me, really. Single target HP burn. It's a bit like last year. I guess if we're talking about, him against Sorath for that HP burn, it's kind of nice, but still 3-turn cooldown on it. It's a bit average. But this could be nice then. So places 50% increased accuracy buff and 30% increased damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. 3-turn cooldown. That's cool. So up until now, we only had Kurzad that could do it as the dwarf. We're now starting to get new champions that do this increased accuracy skill. So we're now thinking about here with accuracy in Doom Tower, increased accuracy, increased crit damage, a leech ability. Leech kind of cool for Night Revs anyway because they struggle with healers. I just wish this A2 was a bit better. I don't really love that A2. But maybe for Doom Tower, people struggling with accuracy. I can't really see... I guess increased accuracy and increased crit damage could help for the arena if you're struggling with the 2 things. Kind of fills 2 roles. But I still feel like we won't see much of this champion used, even though this A3 is really cool. Lodric Falconheart then. What we got here? Spirit-based HP champion from the Sacred Order. Attack 1 enemy, 40% chance of placing decreased attack. Goes up to 60%. Okay, it's in line with a lot of the other epics, really, in terms of their chance to land. Decreased attack. A2 removes all debuffs from one ally. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. Then places ally protection on that ally for 2 turns. That's actually really cool. And then A3 places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. And it's on a 2-turn cooldown if you book it. So instantly I'm thinking, because my mind just goes there, Clan Boss Champion, you've got someone here who can place decreased attack for you consistently. You've got someone that can remove the stun from the stun target and then put ally protection on them for the next hit to come in to spread that damage. 3-turn cooldown in line with Clan Boss. I like that. Shield buffs as well. Nice for Clan Boss, but also very nice for the Doom Tower against the Scarab Boss. So this guy, Lodric, I think seems like he's got good, genuine utility for a lot of players here. Fodbor the Bard. We've got another dwarf then. Spirit Affinity, attack-based. Triple hitter with heal reduction. Nice for Fire Knight. What's this? 15% chance, though. Goes up to 30. I'm hoping that's each hit again. If that's not each hit, then that's weak. We've got A2 attacks 1 enemy. 100% chance of stealing 2 random buffs from the target. 100% chance of placing a stun if there's no buffs. It's okay. Single target, it's a bit average. Awful crooning. AoE. 100% chance of placing decreased defense. Another decreased defense champion AoE. It's like we had not that many. Now we're getting tons of them in. So, the dwarves badly needed an AoE decreased defense champ. So he's going to help people out with that. With a bit of other utility as well. Seems pretty decent. Decent if you need this. If you don't need it, it totally depends what he hits like and that type of stuff, which we don't know yet. Okay then, another Void Affinity epic here. So we've got Godseeker Aniri. Sacred Order, defense-based. I like defense-based champions generally. So Blade of Blessings. Attacks 1 enemy. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5%. I mean, what's this going to be? 10, 15, 20% of their HP if you book it. I think that's the way that's going to work. Plus 5% heal. I think it's going to go up to 20. So at 20, it's okay. At 5, it's a joke. I'm not sure if that goes up to 20, though, or if it's going to be... Must go up to 20, surely. A2, AoE. Heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. So again, does this go up to 35? Then decreases the duration of all buffs on all enemies. Increases the duration of all buffs on all allies. That's a big skill. 3-turn cooldown. Again, great for Clan Boss, that type of skill. Or for Faction Wars, Doom Tower, those sort of places. So that ability there is actually really cool. We've got Revive a dead ally with 50%. Then fills their turn meter by 50. And resets the skill cooldowns. Ooh. That's a juicy one. That's a really cool revive, actually. This champion seems interesting. I like the look of this. Then we've got passive here. Increases the amount of healing allies receive by 10%. And then an active on it. If an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death on them. And then they don't get this revive though. They must just get they get a revive on death, which is not this revive. 4-turn cooldown if you book it. I mean, there's a ton of books here again. It's just getting ridiculous with these books. But this champion is very different and actually seems really cool. I think Sacred Order are getting a ton of revive champions at the minute though, aren't they? But still, seems very cool. All right, what we've got here then. Claude Beast Feeder. Aldrin Tribes, magic, HP based. Attacks one enemy. 30% chance of placing decreased crit rate. Goes up to 50. Okay. A2 places a shield buff on all allies. 3-turn cooldown. Goes on for 2. HP base, so it could be a big shield. It's based on his HP, so that's kind of nice. And then we got increased speed and increased accuracy buff for 2 allies. For all allies on 2 turns. 3-turn cooldown. And we got another one here. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of their max HP at the start of this champion's turn. I mean, it feels like an out-and-out support champion. I'm not sure that I love the kit. I feel like it's trying to do a lot of things, but I can't really see that it synergizes that well together. Another increased accuracy buff now, so there's a few of them coming out into the game. And if you need that, then obviously it's going to help you for something like a Doom Tower. Maybe if you wanted to run him again against a Scarab King with that shield and more speed and increased accuracy, could be quite nice. So we've got another Void Affinity defense-based Aldrin Tribes. Okay, Prundar. A1 then. Tons of books here again. Look at this. 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 epic books. It's kind of scandalous. It's kind of ridiculous. So what we got? Attacks one enemy. Chance to put decreased speed on. Goes up to, 45? For 2 turns. Another chance to place a stun instead when counter-attacking with this skill. That's quite interesting. AoE, A2, 50% chance goes up to, 60, 75 of placing Provoke. Places increased defense on this champion for 2 turns. Those two things go together nicely. Void Champion Provoked means it can't be resisted as well. Can be resisted. It can't be a weak hit. And then Giant here, Giant Strength, places Strengthen and continuous heal on this champion for 2 turns. So it feels like he's an out-and-out tank. An out-and-out tank, provoking up the enemies, provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, strengthen on a 4-turn cooldown, passive as well, receives 20% less damage from enemies under provoke. That's cool. 30, 45% has a 50% chance of counter-attacking whenever an enemy under provoke attacks this champion or an ally. So I guess does that mean that every time if someone does an AoE attack, does that mean that he gets 4 times 50% chance to counter? If he does, that's kind of broken. That's broken good. He reads a lot to me like Rockbreaker, but in a Void Affinity. Rockbreaker's a very cool champion, by the way, a dwarf. Reads very similar to him. So I think Prundar could be useful in certain situations. But yeah, feels very Rockbreakery. I like defense-based champions. If he hits as well, then we got a chance. Tarshon, Demon Spawn, Spirit Affinity, another defense-based champion. So another Demon Spawn coming in here. A1, Diabolical Hook. 25% chance of placing Provoke. Goes up to 35. Average, I'd say. Although, when you're thinking against... Yeah, the funny thing is, every time I think, this could be good for a Doom Tower boss, it's like they've got the wrong affinity. Like I was thinking Magma Dragon maybe with this, but the affinity's bad. Soul Shrivel attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing Weaken. If the hit is pretty good as well, then this is nice. And in Demonic Possession, places increased defense on all allies for 2 turns, fills turn meter by 20% as well. That's a really rare skill in the game. You don't often get those two paired, so that could be quite nice. A passive, place strengthen on this champion for 2 turns whenever their drops below 50%. I'm guessing that's HP. This is a bit like what happens with Seeker. So if you take a hit, you get your increased defense up. He's going to get a strengthen buff on. Again, it's kind of like it's a bitty kind of skill set. I don't feel instantly like, yeah, this guy's going to be awesome. Let's get on to the rares then. Any good rares coming through? So we've got the Dwarf here. Force Affinity, attack based. A1, double hitter. Chance to put a weak source, decrease speed. I'm not really fussed about these weak abilities. I really wish a lot of them would just come out of the game. A2, increased crit rate on himself and increased crit damage on himself. Grants an extra turn. And then an A3 ignores 30% of target's defense. Really, for this A2 and A3 combo to work, he's got to hit like a truck. And even then, he's only going to kill one dude. I feel like he's going to be average. Scrapper. What a name. Scrapper. It looks like he's going to be a handsome lad. Barbarian, Void Affinity. Attacks one enemy, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 5% of the damage inflicted if he does a crit. Interesting one. Depends how hard he hits, obviously. A2 attacks one enemy, destroys the target's max HP by 30% of the damage. Places a shield. So there's lots of shields going on here. I'm guessing he's meant to be another kind of Scarab boss specialist. Placing a shield on himself for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP if it's a crit. Increases the damage inflicted by this champion equal to the percentage of the max HP destroyed on the target. So the more max HP that goes, the more damage he's going to do. And he's a Doom Tower. Feels basically a Scarab boss dude, but we'll see. If he can hit hard as well, maybe it's okay. Abyssal, support champion, Demon Spawn again. Loads of Demon Spawns this patch. AoE A1. Chance to place block buffs. It's actually a really good A1. 30% chance to place block buffs for 2 turns on an AoE. That's nice. We've got heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. A2 goes up to what? 20, 30, 40% of their max HP. Quite a big heal for a 3-turn cooldown. And then A3 places increased defense, weak version, and weak version increased attack on all allies. But yeah, I love this A1. I'm not so sure about the rest of the kit being that useful. Flailer, another dwarf. So we're getting a lot of rare dwarfs nowadays. A1 attacks one enemy, 25% chance of decreasing target's turn meter by 10%. It's so weak. Think about what he's up against in that category, yeah? Allure, Armiger. It's just like so undertuned, it's mental. A2 places 30% increased defense, weak version again on this champion and the ally with lowest HP, blah, blah, blah. A3 attacks one enemy, 75% chance of a provoke. 3-turn cooldown. Average. Average to bad. So, last bit then. Tag Team Arena rewards. We'll see some changes. Okay, that's nice. The weekly tier rewards will be decreased. Okay, so we're not looking at good changes then, no? And will require at least 10 fights in a week to claim. However, we will increase the number of gold bars per victory to compensate for that. You know what? If people aren't doing at least 10 fights a week, something is wrong with the system. It's boring is what's wrong with the system, and the fights take too long. Yeah? Like, change it up because people don't enjoy the mode. So you're trying to force people to do the game mode. We've got too much to do in the game right now, which takes a ton of time. Like, if you do everything you need to do in the game every day, it's hours of your day. Some people like that, and I do that. Do I like that? Sometimes I'm like, God, I don't want to do these 3v3s, and I don't do them. I normally do 5, in fairness. I normally do my 5 a day to get my extra Faction Wars attacks. Furthermore, we're expanding item pools for each tier in the bazaar. That's cool. We'll include charm chests, player avatars for each tier, fragments of rare void champions. Oh man, if they just put a full stop there. Full stop there. Rare void champions. Done. As soon as you say required to fuse Broadmoor, you've just lost me. You lost me at rare void champions. What a terrible end to that sentence that was. Imagine if you've actually got some half decent rare void champions that you can get fragments for. Instead, we've got... Who even goes into Broadmoor? Arbalester, actually a hard hitter. Stone Skin, blah. Huntress, blah. Bloodhorn, who even is he? Message me below. Are they any good? Oh, man. So close. You're so close to something good here. So damn close. Miscellaneous then. What's this last couple of bits? We'll be introducing several changes to the Forge UI. For example, charm slots, blah, blah, blah. Clan boss keys bought in various offers will be added individually. That's a good change. Okay. Wow, that's a long video. Sorry for the length of video, but it is what it is. Loads more new champions. Not really much else going on. We do have a fusion. Make sure you're ready for the fusion. They were so close with some bizarre stuff here, but didn't quite hit it for me. Let me know in the comment below, guys. What do you think? Which is your favourite champion coming out? And what do you think of the changes that are coming in? I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.